It is white to move and win the game, but many players in this position made a blunder. Now, this blunder cost them the game and they actually end up in a draw. But you have to find a solution for this puzzle. So, you have many options. You have many checks. You have many moves with the bishop, with the king, with the pawns. So what would you do? Bear in mind that this pawn is going here. So this pawn is going to be making a queen on the next move. If he managed to go rook to h1 to defend it, and then you have to sacrifice the bishop for it. So yes, you are stopping this pawn for now, but it's going to be a problem later. So what are you going to do? I wanted to pause the video and try to figure out the sequence of moves that will lead to a win. Now, probably you are seeing this video and you're like, come on, bro, this is very silly. Of course, it is just g4 check. The king moves probably somewhere. We take the rook, and that's it. And we're dealing with the pawn. We're going to be pushing our pawn here, and we're trying to make a queen, and that's pretty much it. Well, you're wrong. You might be actually right. If black takes the pawn, then you're completely correct. Nice, you're completely smart. But black will not take the pawn, and he will completely sacrifice the rook for it. So after you take it, he will play a brilliant move, which is king to h7. So king to h7 attacks the bishop. You cannot defend the bishop. You have to move the bishop. It doesn't matter if you go bishop to g7, bishop to f6, bishop here, or bishop all the way back there to c3, for example. The king cannot move because this pawn is stopping the king from going there, and the king stopping the king from moving like here. And there's a pawn there that cannot move. So black will make a queen. Black will be completely winning this game unless you took his queen. So when you take the queen, congratulations, you managed to stalemate this game. That's why you're not supposed to be playing a check right from the beginning on with g4, because this move will not lead to a win because of this move, insane move, king g6, and after this he goes here, attacking the bishop, the defender of this square, and getting a stalemate in the end. So what would you play other than that? I know you might be tempted to play something. Okay, so if it's not a check here to win the rook, probably some kind of a check here with e4. But it is the same thing. The king can just move somewhere, and the rook can go here to a5 actually. And after the rook will be on on a5, black will make a queen. You're forced to sack the bishop for it, and after rook takes, the king's very close to stop these pawns, and black will manage to deal with this position. Not to mention that if the king managed to be on f6 and the rook here, it will lead to a checkmate once the bishop is sacrificed for the pawn. So giving a check here is also not good. And moving the bishop somewhere, well, actually will not really help because the bishop's only job is to stop the pawn from promoting. So moving the bishop is just going to be a waste of time, and you're moving the piece for no reason at all. Check is bad, another check is bad. And congratulations if you manage to find the correct move here, which is, I know it's insane, but it's not making some kind of a crazy move with a check and stuff like that. You have to make a quiet move, which is king to f7. See, the beautiful thing about king to f7, you are trying to make a mating net around the black king. See, white is trying to control these squares with the king. The pawns are controlling these squares, right? So all these squares are being controlled, and the bishop is controlling this square. So the only move for the black king is to go here. Now, he can never make the queen because obviously he can just take it, right? If he decided to move the rook, for example, trying to push and make a queen, you have to sacrifice the bishop for it, and after rook takes, you will be in trouble. But rook to h1 will be actually a blunder because you have e4 check now. The king's only move is to go to g5. It will be met with bishop to f6 check. The king's only move is to go to h5 and g4 checkmate. The bishop is blocking these squares and the king is stopping that, and the pawn here is defended. So it will lead to a checkmate. For example, if you decided not to move the rook and, for example, move the king, it doesn't do much it is the same thing. Bishop to f6 check, the king will go here, and e4 checkmate. It will lead to a checkmate here. What about other stuff, like after king to f7, probably go in here, it will lead to checkmate with e4. Moving the rook anywhere else, it will lead the exact same thing, like for example rook h2, or rook here, rook to g5 is actually a blunder right away, it's e4 checkmate. So this is the solution of this puzzle. You have to play a quiet move. For many, in many of your games, you're going to be tempted to play a very obvious move, which is like a g4 check. You win this rook, and it's all fine. Probably, if you played this game with somebody, and after this, the king moves to g6, and you take the rook, probably your opponent will actually take. They will not play king to h7 unless they are really, really good at chess, and they manage to see that it's going to be leading to a stalemate. And this will be completely winning for you. So it's totally fine. This position is not going to be seen in many of your games because it is a composition, it is a chess puzzle that will just test your calculation. But it is really good, and I really hope that you like this video, and I'll see you again with another one.